am I doing? Why is that moved
the
up?
notes saying you might want to do them
It's
while
whether or
he's
not,
there.
yeah, it's whether or not you want to take these.
Well,
which,
Joe's there.
yeah, Yanni's going to because it's his report, but it's related to.
Doesn't
Oh,
matter.
no.
Keep
So,
going.
item number 8 is the report of the Lyttelton Mount Herbert Community Board meeting, and we have no Part A reports, but I'd like to invite Paula Smith to say a few words.
Morena. Just one report today, and the thing that the Community Board was really pleased about was the opportunity to have a board member on the two project control groups for the two big rebuild projects that are happening in Lyttelton, the Norman Kirk Pool and the Lyttelton Rec. I don't know where that came from. I think it was a staff initiative, but we really welcome that as a step forward for board council staff liaison. And I'm happy to take any questions about the rest of the report.
I know that I'm quite keen on this, and I know that your councillor is too, freedom camping issues, and I see that there's another area, Corsair Bay, which has caused issues. Is that, how's that? I see that the residents raised concern about noise, toilet waste, etc.
Yes, they raised that actually with the staff, I think. It wasn't something that came through directly through the board.
So will you be following that up as a board?
Yes, certainly.
Great, yeah, because I know that there's a wider issue being looked at in terms of bylaws, etc. But I think that I think that we have to be aware of these things when they come up, so that we can nip it in the bud rather than after the fact. But Andrew.
Yeah, I had some calls over the Christmas holiday period from concerned residents, and I think it may have been me that raised this at the board meeting in the elected members' information exchange. There was some contact with Ian Jackson, who's the staff member responsible for that area, and some action was taken around getting the gate closed and some enforcement. So, yeah, some small steps were taken at that time, and obviously it's something we're looking at in the wider concept of the freedom camping problems.
Yeah.
I think it's true to say that in our part of the ward, the problems are not as great as they are in Akaroa. The pressure's just not there.
Yeah, no, that's good. And in terms of the Fletcher Earthquake Recovery Hub, some concern around cash land settlement payments not covering retaining walls. I'd be grateful for some feedback from the Community Board about the retaining walls brochure that has been prepared by the council, which has got the sign-off generally by all of the agencies involved, which I think I hope has been helpful to people.
Yeah, and there was a drop-in session on earlier this week on Tuesday, I think, in Lyttelton, and it was well attended. And when I went to have a look there, it seemed like people were getting clarification and answers to some of their questions. And I spoke to one resident who was particularly pleased to find that his retaining wall, well, his mother's retaining wall, was going to be the shared cost with the council.
Great.
So,
good.
Ellie.
Ask you just for clarification with regards to those figures around the repairs and stuff that you guys are still waiting for in your area. That was on page 23.
Yep.
Talks about, well, if I add them up correctly, that there have been 2,000 completed in 2.5, 3 years, give or take, with 500 to go and 257 to go on both Banks Peninsula and Lyttelton. So does that essentially mean that half the number that have been completed in 3 years are going to be completed in 11 months?
I guess that's what it does mean.
Thank you.
All right. So I'm assuming that Andrew Turner would like to move the motion to receive the report, and Tim Scandrett is seconding that. I'll put the motion. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Carried. Thanks, Paula. And the next